I specifically as a black woman definitely don't feel safe. Oh, we're happy because now we feel safe. I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists.
Washington didn't witness a hearing today, it witnessed a reckoning. And the force behind it was Representative Jasmine Crockett, who walked into that chamber like someone who had been holding the truth back for far too long, and finally decided to unload all of it at once. She began with a reminder that shouldn't shock anyone, yet somehow still does.
Director Christopher Wray, when he was appointed to be the head of the FBI, was appointed by Donald Trump. Now,
Christopher Wray, the man leading the FBI, is Donald Trump's own appointee. But then came the line that ricocheted through the room.
A number of decisions that Donald Trump makes, especially when it comes to the people that he decides to appoint to very important positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real.
Not because of politics, but because he is the only director in 115 years who never served a single day inside the FBI before taking over the whole agency.
One that never even served with the FBI prior to joining.
In Washington terms, that wasn't criticism, that was a diagnosis. Crockett accused him of running the FBI as if it were a stage, not an institution. She said the American people are not getting protection, they're getting a performance designed to impress one person, Donald Trump. And then she shifted the entire tone of the hearing with one sentence that hit with the weight of lived experience. As a black woman in America, I do not feel safe. Not with extremists organizing, not with threats escalating, not with communities being targeted and terrorized in broad daylight. She backed it up with facts, and the facts were brutal.
I specifically as a black woman definitely don't feel safe. Oh, we're happy because now we feel safe. I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists.
Republican lawmakers receiving death threats from their own base. Wives threatened. Families terrorized. One member's spouse sleeping with a firearm because the danger felt that real. Her message wasn't partisan. It was piercing. If Congress is being hunted, how can everyday Americans expect protection from an FBI that can't even defend the people writing the laws?
I know that multiple colleagues on this side of the aisle have faced death threats. In fact, somebody tried to kill one of my colleagues.
Then she turned her focus directly on the director's leadership. 14 years, that's how long it would take to fully staff the FBI. According to his own testimony, she criticized the decision to redirect agents toward immigration enforcement while extremist violence rises at home.
If this FBI, or under your leadership, if those people would have been caught, I don't have any confidence in you. Simple facts like the vast majority of the threats are coming from right-wing extremism.
She called out cases handled poorly, investigations delayed, and even a situation where the FBI took public credit for an arrest that she says only happened because the suspect's parents turned him in. Her conclusion was brutal. She has no confidence in the FBI under this director, and she doesn't believe he's shown any willingness to confront the threat of white supremacy, the very threat, she says, responsible for attacks on children, churches, and entire communities.
I have a couple of UCs. Kim Buck, one of multiple Republicans receiving death threats for voting against Jim Jordan as House Speaker. Another one, Republican lawmaker, says she received death threats after voting against Jim Jordan in Speaker's race. From another colleague who now is leaving Congress because they said that they were calling his wife anonymously and threatening her life to the extent that she ended up sleeping with a firearm.
But the pushback came instantly. Republican members accused Democrats of auditioning for clickbait, saying the real theatrics weren't coming from the FBI director, they were coming from the other side of the aisle.
And we've seen all the stats that he's given to the committee on how much better they're doing at getting the bad guys than the previous guy was doing. With that, I recognize the gentleman from South Carolina.
And when the director responded, he dismissed the criticism entirely.
Succeeding in the mission because the men and women of the FBI have never been empowered to do more work and to hit the streets harder than by President Trump's authorities and resources he's given up.
He said he doesn't care what anyone says about him as long as he's fulfilling the mission.
That we are capturing murderers at a significantly historic rate, and we're delivering this country the lowest murder rate in record. That are facts that you cannot dispute, but you can come at me all you want, I don't care.
This wasn't just a political clash. It wasn't even a debate about one agency. It was a collision over what safety means in America, who feels protected, who feels ignored, and who decides what threats matter most.